So I thought I'd record just a little practice flight. I know it's not from Schiphol to Bilbao. This one is going to be from London Heathrow to Dusseldorf. But it shows, I guess, the whole prepared setup. First thing to say is that frame rate here in London, because of the traffic and the scenery, is not great. We're going to be flying this majestic beast, which is the PMDG 737-800. Notice it's the one with the winglets, which gives it a bit better performance. And I'll show you the route that we're going to be taking today, if I can bring this over. So if we go back here, this is the route we're going to be taking. Here's London, across the channel, and then over into Dusseldorf. Complicated bits are going to be start up, getting out of London, very busy airspace around here, and also the arrival into Dusseldorf might be quite challenging as well. But we got these charts to help us out. So if we go over to London and take a look at the airport itself, we can see we're parked at Terminal 3. I'm doing a flight with my virtual airline, which is called FlyUK. So this is all being tracked. And I thought we'd also make use of ATC as well, which I've just activated. So welcome to the cockpit of the 737. It's all cold and dark. Nothing is being started up at the moment. So we're going to take care of all of that. So first order of business is really to get some power on board this airplane and to call ATC for our clearance and find out how we're going to be getting out of here. So first thing to do, put the battery on. Let's also get ground power connected to the aircraft. So yeah, there we go, it's ground power. So we don't have to waste any fuel using the APU, and then hit the ground power, and it's on. We can hear the recirc fans going, etc., etc. Let's move the if we can, let's get the jetway over here. If we can. No, doesn't look like we can get the jetway over, which is a shame. But this will all start firing up in a minute. Specifically, we need to call now, before we do anything else, air traffic control and see if they've got any space for us. Looks like quite a busy Heathrow airport on a Friday afternoon. Let's just go over to the overhead, do a bit of maintenance. We need to get things aligned. Your damper can stay off for now. This is all fine. We'll put the fuel pumps on. Don't really need to at this stage, but we'll do it. We'll arm the emergency lights. We'll get the
474, you filed an anti-direct Mike Whiskey. Would you prefer to go direct to Mike Whiskey or via an anti?
Fans are on. This is all looking good. We're going to be cruising at 327, so we'll get that popped in there. We'll get the passenger lights on. And the first thing we should do really is get some catering on board. If you can see, we'll use British Airways.
You could leave controlled airspace, routing on track the Mike Whiskey for Bournemouth. Climb to maintain altitude 4,000 feet and squawk 5056. Mixed contact frequency advised, Manchester 124.2.
Baggage loaders coming in. Get ready for our flight. We need to set the payload. Bit of admin to do here. So the payload today, if we look at our flight plan, you can see our zero fuel weight in kilograms is going to be 55.1.
Easy 639, clear to Belfast, Border Grove,
let's put that in.
Departure, squawk 5165, expect Manchester, 128.05, QNH jet 1002.
And we'll put some fuel in as well. Our block fuel is going to be 5890. There we go. So that's how much fuel we need.
762 is clear to leave controlled airspace, routing Trent.
So let's
initially an anti-2 Tango departure, squawk 5163.
let's give ATC a call and see.
Clearance delivery, speed 227 with the weather, request clearance.
What kind of
227, runway clear to KATL via DET.
clearance they're going to give us?
Climb to 5,000, expect within 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is 130.75.
Just getting a notepad so I can
QNH
stuff down.
1009. Clear to destination airport via DET 1 Juliet. Climb and maintain 5,000, expecting within 10 minutes. Departure on 130.75. Squawk 2757. Speed 227. Speed 227. Read that correct. Contact ground on 121.9. Roger. 121.9. Speed 227.
Clearance delivery, KLM 2460 with the ATIS request clearance.
KLM 2460. Sorry, unable at this time.
Okay, so there's a little bit of a bug going on here where it doesn't want to give us a runway, which is a bit annoying. So let's
130.75. Squawk 6574. QNH 1009.
Clear to LM by CPT3 Golf. Climb and maintain flight level 70 within 10 minutes after departure. Departure on 1.
let's stop the flight. We're going to have to do it without ATC, I'm afraid, which is alright. So open right entry forward. It's asking us to open some doors. So that the catering trucks, as you can see here, and do their thing. So right, let's get this plane set up. First thing to do is the boring bit, just to program the FMC, basically where we put in exactly the route we're going to be taking and how we're going to be taking it. So we're going to be putting in this information here essentially. So we need to tell it where we are. We're at Heathrow. Our gate number is 327. And we'll get the GPS coordinates and confirm where we are. Now, in terms of departure, route, and we're going to Dusseldorf, which is EDD. Alright, now I like to set up the departure and arrivals next. So our flight plan is telling us we're going to be taking off from 27 right. And our first waypoint is Dover. So what we need to do is find a standard instrument departure that ends at Dover. So if we take a look here, look for something with Dover in it, which I don't see at the moment. That's going up to Brookman's Park. We want one that's going to the southeast, really. Here we are. This one could be promising, but it looks like it's using runway 09, which we don't want. This one could be good. Using runway 27, right? That's what I'm going to be using here. And it goes off to Deitling. Now Deitling, I'm not sure how close that is to Dover. Let's just run through all of these and see. If there's anything better. Mayfield. Midhurst. Woburn, which we definitely don't want. So this Mayfield one could be quite good. Let's take a look at the overall plan and see where Mayfield is. There's Deitling there. There's Dover. So actually one of those Deitling departures could be good for us. Particularly this one. So the Deitling to Foxtrot would get us there, and then we could go direct to Dover after that. So let's go for that. Deitling to Foxtrot. There we go. 27 right. And then after that, we're going to go direct to Dover. Looking at the flight plan, we're going to then take an airway. Upper Lima 9, then Upper Lima 607, then Upper Yankee 862, and then Yankee 862. And then Upper Zulu 907. And then Tango 857. And then that's going to take us direct to ICMU. I'm hoping will be the start of our arrival. Now it's yelling at us because the catering service has been completed to close right entry forward doors. So let's go and do that. Close, and now that that's happened, let's ask for some passengers. They've done their job by the look of it. We've got stairs at the back. Jetway doesn't appear to be working today, which is a shame. But let's now put in our arrival into Dusseldorf. Now, our flight plan is saying we're going to do 23 left, the ILS. And I happen to know that the last waypoint is BICMU, so this BICMU 1 Golf looks quite promising. But let's check it out on the charts. So, stars. BICMU. German charts are always quite complicated. BIC all seem to be up here, but we want 230. 3. Big move, there we go. So let's take a look at the approach. We said that we were going to be flying 2-3 left. That's our approach. Let's have a look at the thing for 2-3 left. So 2-3 left is telling us that we can come in from up here. We can come in from down here as well. And that's the missed approach procedure there. So we're looking for something that ends at bot or BAM and starts at BICMU. So BICMU. None of these seem to get close to ones we're interested in. BICMU. I mean, this one could be quite good. We could give ourselves radar vectors in actually. Big move, there's BAM there. Actually no, this ends at bot. So this is this BICMU one here, which is the BICMU 1 Gulf by the look at it. Yeah, BICMU 1 Gulf ends at bot. And then if we look at 2-3 left, we see that bot is up here, so we could go into the approach that way. So I think we'll go with the BICMU 1 Gulf. There we go, and transition is going to be at bot, which is good. So back to our route. Everything looks good. Activate and execute. Let's do the performance initialization. 0 fuel weight 55.1. Looking at our flight plan, we don't have many reserves, so we can't fuck up today. Reserves going to be 1. And our cost index, which is basically how fast and fly and efficiently, is 1.7, which is quite low. Cruising altitude is going to be 270, which is quite low as well. Now the cruise and the winds are interesting. So if we look over at the weather for our flight plan, we can see that roughly wind is going to be coming from 280 at 72. So let's put that in. 280/72. There we go. Transition altitude, London, 6,000 feet. Like so. Execute. N1 limit, so this is where we select D rates to try and save the engine wear, but we're just going to do full takeoff. Flaps 5 is standard. Centre of gravity we get automatically. Trim 4.44. Look at the trim here. That's about right. 4.44. And these are our V speeds. So we're going to be going off at a V2 of 144. So over here we'll arm the flight directors. Put in here 144. Now this is moaning at us because it wants to load cargo. Cargo aft, cargo forward, left entry forward. and we can hear the passengers coming aboard. Right, give me 2 secs, just need to check something. Okay, I'm back, so I think we're pretty much ready to get started now. We know we're taking runway 23, so we can put the heading in roughly along the course of the runway. So 23. We need to take a look at our departure, which I now have forgotten. But if we go over here, we can see we selected the Dightling to Foxtrot departure. So SIDS Dightling to Foxtrot, we can see we make a left turn around here to Epsom between 4,600, 5,600, 6,000, 6,000. So it looks like 6,000 is going to be our stop height. Which is fine. Now let's get everything set up. We need to start the APU. So we have some power during engine pushback. We'll get all these set up, ready to go. The landing altitude in Dusseldorf we can get set up now as well. If we go over to Dusseldorf, we should be able to see the height of the reference, maybe approach. Dusseldorf is 147 feet, so that's about right there. Okay, we're good. Passengers should be pretty much boarded. APU is started, so let's switch power to the APU, turn the ground power off, put on the yaw damper. We're about to start the engine, so we'll put on the position light. We've got isolation valves open, packs off, so that should all be good for engine start. We want this ideally on this page here. And with that, we will just go down and set our transponder. Normally ATC would do this, but we just give ourselves a random one. And we will activate as well the weather radar. Which is down here. It should be on auto. One thing we haven't done is got the weather, so let's go and get the weather, which we get from the ATIS automatic weather report 122.00.
Echo Golf Lima Lima airport information Lima 1350 Zulu weather wind 210 at 15 visibility 10 sky condition ceiling 1900 broken temperature 182.13 QNH 1009 advise on initial contact that you have information Lima Echo Golf Lima Lima airport information Lima 1350 Zulu weather wind 210 at 1
Echo Golf Lima Lima airport information Mike 13.
So basically weather's pretty shit, but we know that the QNH is 1019, which puts us at exactly 380, which is the altitude above sea level of Heathrow Airport. So I think baggage loading and passenger loading should now be complete. So let's close the doors and get going. That's probably a mistake. Yeah, we don't want those on. Close the air stairs. A few bits and pieces we need to do. We need to set auto brakes to RTO. And we will do everything else once pushback has started. Now Heathrow is a complicated place to get around. We go back to our maps, find out where we are. We know that we're here. We want to be taking 27 right, so we need to get over here. So I want pushback with our nose to the left. So that's what I'm going to ask for from the crew. So let's ask them. So we want nose left, tail right, and we don't want to start the engines. We'll just make sure that the chocks and things are removed. Removed. Set the park and brake. And they should start talking to us in a second.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Just going to move this to the other screen so we can navigate around a bit.
Locking gear.
So if we go to the front of the aircraft, we can see the pushback cart is connected. He's locked up the gear.
Departure check completed.
And now
Inserted. Release parking brakes.
it's going to tell us to release the brakes.
Push. All engines clear. Start that wheel.
And we can start our engines. So starting the engines very easy. We'll start the right one first. Switch this over to ground. And then we monitor N2. Once it gets to around 23%, we put in the fuel. So there we go. In goes the fuel. And we'll just keep an eye on it. See the engine gas temperature's increasing, N1 is now increasing. What we want. Okay, I heard a starter cut out there. So let's start the left engine. see N2 increasing. We get up to 23%. We'll put the fuel in. There we go, fuel in. And it looks like these guys have aligned us very nicely on the centre line. They're asking us to set the parking brake. And they're going to disconnect. If we look at the chart now, we'll see that we're now facing in the right way. We're going to taxi down here. My goal, we're going to turn right onto Hotel, then Alpha, and we're going to go all the way down here to the end, and that'll take us onto 27 right. Let me just move this over here. See, it's raining. He's doing his thing, unlocking the gear. So while he's doing that, we'll do our after start flow. So because we've got now engines running, we can switch to engine power, turn off the APU, switch the taxi on, switch these to conditional, position to strobe. We will open the packs, set them to auto, turn the APU bleed off, and the pitot heats on. And that should give us pretty much everything we need. We need to set flaps 5. So that's 1, 2, and 5. And we will arm the spoilers as well. So now we are pretty good as a Virgin 777. We are pretty good to start our taxi. So let's release the parking brakes, apply a little bit of pressure here. I got the map on my right here so I can see where we're going. Stay on the centre line here. Weather is absolutely horrible. Shouldn't be going too fast. We'll just follow this line here. We'll arm the auto throttle. Terminal 3 we're departing from today. It's where I usually end up departing from on my little trips. Now, here the question is, I think we want to make a right turn. Right here. Without stopping. American Airlines jet there. And then we're going to keep following this line. Around here. Make a right turn now onto Alpha. Keep that right turn going. All the way around. And now we're on Alpha, and we're going to stay on here all the way down to the entry point to runway 27 left. Try not to taxi more than 20 knots. See down here, got the ground speed, we shouldn't really be going more. 20 knots. Admire the scenery. Very nice scenery this for Heathrow. So keep heading a little bit to run. Let's do a few checks while we're here. Spoilers, flaps, RTO, flaps up to 5. Throttle on, masters on. We can arm VNAV and LNAV at this point. As you'll see, autopilot is a pretty big deal when flying these big beasts. As we're close to the runway now, I'm gonna turn on the runway turn off lights. British Airways traffic here. Looks like A319s to me. Alright, passing Terminal 1 on the right now. Heading still rather too fast, but that's alright. Heading down towards our departure point. On the left there, got a load of hotels. This is next to the runway. Okay, so this is Alpha 5 holding point. We're going to go right to the end to Alpha 3, and then we're going to hold at Alpha 3. Switch on the traffic mode. Up on the left here is Alpha 4. We look very briefly at this, you can see where we are roughly coming up here. Check the AP is off, it is. There's Alpha 4 on the left, and this is the Alpha 3 point. We'll turn into it. Oh, we can see someone coming into land right there. And we're going to hold right here. Throttle back to 0. To be safe. Pop the parking brake on. Now I'm just going to grab my checklist that land? That looks like a ATR of some kind, actually. Is it going to land or is it going around? No, it's going to land. So, checklist here. See on TCAS there's nothing else on approach. So before takeoff checklist, engine start switches to continuous, which they are. Flight controls we've checked. Transponder TARA we've set. Vital data is set. Flaps of 5 and we got a green light. So let's turn on the runway lights. Auto throttle is armed. And let's pop on the weather radar as well. Final looks pretty clear to me. I'm actually going to disable the spoilers for this. So let's go. Parking brake off, silly me. Now let's enter the runway. Make a left turn here.
Approaching 27
Cast still looks
right.
clear. We've got confirmation that we're going 27 right. Let's make sure that other aircraft is off the runway.
On runway 27
We are lined up and ready to go. So what we do is we hold the brakes, go up to 40% on the N2, which we're at. Start the clock. There we go, starting the clock. And then we hit toga. Follow through with the throttle. Got N1. Thrust hold. V1. Rotate. Smoothly up to 10 degrees. Positive rate of climb, gear up. Follow the flight director. It's pop on the autopilot. And we can take the flaps, start bringing them up. That's flaps 2. We want to only really bring the flaps up as the speed approaches the flaps on limiter. Take a look outside. Beautiful airport, right near London, great for the frame rate. Beginning our left turn now. We'll take the flaps all the way up. And if we go over to the chart, we can see that we're following this standard instrument departure that we programmed in. So aircraft, bit of turbulence there, accelerating to 250, can't go faster than 250 below 10,000 feet. hitting the cloud layer now. And we've got to stop at 6,000, that's because of the departure won't let us climb immediately up to 270. Look at our legs page, we can see stop here, 060. And after that, we're free to go as high as we want. A lot of turbulence. Great views of London. See Heathrow off there in the distance. The aircraft is getting a bit sporty. It's going a little bit fast, but let's do the after takeoff actions. So gear is up, make it go off, flaps are up, that can go to auto brake to off. We can set start switches to off. Leads are all on, that's nice. Looks like we might be breaking through the cloud layer soon. See here, if we pop the data switch on, it'll tell us when we can climb. Beautiful scenery around London. So I'm just checking the after takeoff checklist. Engine bleeds are on, packs are auto, engine start switches are not continuous. Flaps are up, landing gear is up. So we're making our left turn round. We look over at the chart, matches with what we're meant to be doing. Once we get to Deitling, this VOR here, we'll be cleared to start going up to our cruising altitude at about 27,000 feet. Let's double check that your damper is on. It is. Reviews of London. See some traffic there, that shows that it's 2,200 feet below us, so we don't need to worry about that. Increase the range a bit. That plane there is probably on its way to land. 27 right. Sorry about the dog. And let's keep our heading nicely aligned with where we're going. You can see a little bit of weather here. Green we don't need to worry about. Yellow and red start getting a bit more concerned. For now we're doing just fine. The aircraft doesn't seem to want to be obeying the 250 rule. I'm not going to release the passengers yet from their seats, but the runway turn-off lights can go off. Keep the landing lights on below 10,000 feet for visibility. Seem at this altitude to be stuck in this cloud deck, which is a bit annoying. Turbulent. traffic here. Nearly 800 feet above us. Hopefully they're going to move or climb. Right, so in preparation for this end here, I'm just going to tell the autopilot that it's free to go up to 27,000 when it's ready. Start cruising altitude. Relaunching charts app, so must be something slightly wrong with that. There we go. Back on course. Heading to Dover. So once we're at the end of the standard instrument departure, we're at Deitling. Hopefully we'll start climbing up to our cruising altitude. We've got a plane very close to us here, 300 feet above us coming directly towards us. Let's see if we can see it. Stuck in those clouds. Well, that's alright. Not long to go now. We can start our climb. Notice how the plane is using auto throttle, so it's controlling the throttle for us. We don't have to do anything. It's doing basically what it wants to do in order to keep us on profile at 250 knots. Look outside. Nice wing view. Okay, so Deitling is coming up. Hopefully in about 4 miles the aircraft will go into climb mode and we will start heading up. Go. Aircraft's pitching up and we're beginning our climb. As we're about to transition, we'll switch to standard. Shares 1013. still maintaining 250 knots because we're below 10,000 feet. Right, there's 10,000 feet. Plane now pitch down, accelerate a little bit, then continue climbing. We can turn off all the lights at this point. Oh, I forgot to turn on the anti-collision light, that was very naughty. Keep the heading straight. And that's us. Look at the chart. See we're now headed towards Dover, and then we've got a short hop across the channel, going over Brussels, and then a left turn in towards Dusseldorf. And it won't be long as we've reached the top of a climb that we have to start thinking about going down again. Just gonna grab some water. Okay, I'm back. Looking at the map, I can see we're just passing Dover. Just confirmed here. So now we're out over the water, heading across the channel. So now we need to start thinking about our approach. We've already planned what we're going to do, but we haven't planned things like our flaps, landing weight. So looking at 2-3 left at Dusseldorf, it's quite a long runway. So I think we can get away with just using flaps 15 with a slight wind correction. The ILS is going to be on 109.9, so we can get that programmed in now. On 9.9, course is going to be 232. In the other side as well, to land. And we'll also program this one onto 109. Nine. So that's our setup for the approach. Take a look at our descent. We've got 140 miles to run before we start going down. Forecast, we need to put in a transition level. That's when we switch to the aerodrome QNH, and for that we need to look at our charts for Dusseldorf. And one of them should tell us the transition is, it says by ATC, we don't have ATC, so we're just going to say 6,000 feet. Pretty standard in Europe. Okay, we're just coming up now on our cruise level. So we should see this settle down, 27,000. And we should be going into cruise mode now. If we look over at the engines, you can see we're in cruise. So the throttle has taken us back a little bit in order to keep us using a reasonable amount of fuel. Let's line up the heading bug. Take a look outside. So it seems like we've crossed the channel. I wonder what that is down there. Looking at the charts for where we are, it looks like it is Dunkirk we're flying over right now. Very nice. Down there, the harbour. It's also, I'll leave it actually out here. Use this as an opportunity to check the weather over at Dusseldorf, see what we're heading into. So in Dusseldorf, QNH 1012, it's cloudy. 12 knot wind, good visibility, few clouds at 4,000, broken clouds at 8,500, no rain, so we should have a pretty good view coming in on our ILS of the runway, and we might be able to even go visual. If we look at the map, we can also see where we are. A lot of cloud around, but not much rain, it would seem, at the moment. Seeing if that rain is over London, but it's not anymore. Okay. So 113 miles to run till top of descent. Let's take a look at our legs page and see if we've got any stop altitudes along the way. So we know that here at BOT we need to be at or above 4,000. So it might be worth us just going in and reviewing what we're doing. So we're doing the ILS 23 left and the Big Me Golf arrival. So I'm just going to make a note of that. 23 left and Big Me arrival. So let's bring up our charts again for Dusseldorf. Looking for Big Me arrival. I think it was this one here. B1 Golf. So we'll arrive at this waypoint. We're going to actually overfly the airfield about 4,000 feet. We're going to come over here to BOT, and then when we get there we're going to use BOT as our turning point into the ILS. So we're basically going to do one big right turn, track outbound, and another right turn onto the glide slope there. But for now, we will leave this here, I think, so it's ready and we can track our progress. So Big Move is the leg we're interested in. And there it is right there. "92 miles to run until we have to go down." So as you can see, it's a lot of work involved for just one person. Mainly just the paperwork, making sure you're coming in on the right arrivals. And with ATC it's even worse because they often will change your arrival at the last minute. Let's just check all this is good. It's all fine. It's getting a bit dark, so it's the panel's a bit brighter. Shame about the clouds, can't see much, but see something below us. Wonder what that is. What are we flying over at the moment? Getting pretty close to Brussels. That's the Brussels airspace just there. It will be so high that that won't affect us, so we're just going straight through it. But on our TCAFs, we might see some aircraft going into Brussels. But waypoint we're really interested in is over here. Big moon, that's it. I'm going to come in here, fly straight past the airfield, go all the way up here, then make a right turn, and come back and land. 2-3 left. So not long to go now. Percent, around 69 miles, and we can see that's going to be at about 3:24, 3:15 now. It's in Zulu time, so it's an hour behind, 2 hours behind you probably. And we can even see here on our main primary display the top descent point indicated here. Keep the radar on, keep the traffic on as well, I think. We know that it's going to be 1012, so we can set the QNH in advance. So when we hit 6,000 feet, we just click the button and it goes straight there. We also need to look at our ILS and set up our minimums for the approach. So 2-3 left, here we are. We know it's going to be 109.9. And we're going to probably do a Cat 2 ILS, which means that by 100-foot radar off the ground, we need to be inside the runway, which today won't be a problem at all. But we'll get that programmed in now. So the way we do that is we go over here, we set that to radio, and we dial in and that'll just give us a warning, all our minimums when we hit that point. Very good. Should be passing over Brussels now. The airport, oh, there it is, off to our left, that's Brussels Airport. See some traffic there above us. Wonder if we can see it actually. I can't see it. Okay, top descent 45. So we need to start thinking about what we're going to allow the computer to go down to when it descends. So looking at our charts, we know that 4,000 is pretty much the limit. And when we actually do our approach, we need to start the approach at 3,000. So I'm going to set this now down to 4,000. That's not going to immediately descend us to 4,000, but it'll let the computer go down to that level when it reaches its top descent point in about 50 odd miles. dashboard view. So 28 miles now to descent. Descent checklist says recall is good. Air conditioning, pressurization, we set all that up. Speeds we've set, minimum we've set. Auto brake, so that's the brakes that get applied. We'll do auto brake 2, that's pretty standard. We'll double check that we're set to the right frequencies. For the RLS, which is 109.9. 109.9, we're going to do an auto land, so we need it set on both sides. 109.9, 232. We need to identify it as well. And also for situational awareness, I'm going to put in probably another VOR, so we get a line showing us where it is. This one here might be quite good, 115.15. So let's put 115.15. The second VOR block here. Switch this to VOR2, and that's useful because we can see that we're now 74 miles away from Dusseldorf. Only another 10 miles till we start going down. Clouds clearing. Good look at the scenery. Another big runway down there. There's a river here, I'm not sure what that is. Good look at our charts, see where we are. So that is Liège Airport right there. So very, very soon when we make our left turn, we're going to be crossing over into Germany. Switch this to night mode as well, that's kind of cool, isn't it? Might use that on the way in. Okay. So very, very close now to the top of the descent. Aircraft now should basically say, okay, let's go down to 4,000 feet, and the throttles will go back to idle. Here it comes. You can see throttles going back, and we are descending. Giving us some information. It's saying that by bot it wants to be at 4,000 feet. That's its goal, and it says we're going to be there in about 15 minutes. bit. We're heading aligned with where we're going, just in case we need to intervene. Also very nice, something on the 737 which nobody uses, but it's kind of cool. And that's this. A bit like the A10, you can get this HUD view, see similar kind of information, but to be honest with you, no one really uses that because the information here is so clear. So we're descending nicely. This shows that we are on our correct glide path down. It might ask us at some point to add a bit of drag, which we can do with the spoilers. Quite a heavy wind actually from the left. See here, 71 knots on our left hand side. It's not too nice. See ourselves going down. Going to hit that cloud deck fairly soon, I think. Tell the cabin crew that we are descending. Chimes. And let's take a look at our progress page. It's telling us that we're going to be arriving at Dusseldorf in about 15 to 20 minutes, and we're expected to have 3.1 fuel left. Let's check our plan. I wonder if that's what we were meant to use. Go down here and see, precisely 3.1. We did well on the fuel, so far that is. Coming down through 20,000 feet, beautiful clouds. And up ahead I can see the start of our SID at Bikmu. So at this point I'm going to switch us back over the chart here. Dog Casino Squirrel. So we can expect to appear down here, fly this way, fairly soon. Down to 18,000. Once we get to 10,000, the aircraft's going to try and slow itself down, get below 250 knots. I might ask for a bit of drag to do that. still got this radial, this second beacon here, which I don't think is particularly useful. So I'm going to switch it back to the ILS. I'm also going to switch up the volume on the nav. So we can hopefully identify the call sign on it, make sure we're tuned into the right thing. Oh, there we go. We check our chart. That's the Morse we're looking for. I'd say that's good. So we're tuned into the right one. I do kind of want a reference for where the airport is. And I know that there is this DUS VOR that sits on top of the runway. So at this point I'm going to put in something called a fix. Should give us fix over the airfield. I also want one over bot as well. That's our turning point. There we go. I also happen to have noticed that there's an ADF of 417 that sits on our path here, so that might be quite useful to have. So let's tune that one in. On the ADF. I'll pop it there. Once again, that'll just point towards it. So we got, as you can see, those fixes. There's Dusseldorf. There's bot. We're going to be coming now straight towards it and then make a right turn. Another right turn and intercept the ILS. If we move over to our chart for the star, we might be able to, there we go, we've just appeared on it. Fly 024 over to bot, and then a right hand turn, pretty steep right hand turn around here to intercept the runway. Speed wise we're doing pretty good. Aircraft should probably slow down in a second to try and get below 250. If it doesn't, I'll have to intervene. In a little bit on this. We'll turn off the weather radar now. Put on terrain radar. Traffic is on. Doesn't seem to be much traffic that I can see, which is good. Okay, we're coming up on 10,000, so switch the landing lights on. Get the passengers back in their seats. Switch this to continuous just in case of an engine failure. As you can see, the computer has asked for 240 and it can't quite get there, so it's asking for some drag. So we'll pop out the drag flaps. Should slow us down a bit. Get us back on the descent profile. Over our left, we should now see airport. Maybe if I look outside, we'll see the airport somewhere over the left here. Okay, so next thing that's going to happen is we're going to hit the transition level, which I think I said at 6,000, and we're going to set 1012. We'll just double check that that is indeed still the active UNH for Dusseldorf. Yes, it is 1012, and we can expect some pretty hefty winds as we're coming in. Clouds still at 4,400, so we should be well below them by the time we see the runway. I'm now going to allow the autopilot to go down to 3,000, which is the height we're going to intercept the ILS. Sharp turn here. Okay, the flaps have probably done their job, so we'll put them back. We're below 240, so let's put our flaps 1. Nice views of some German industry down there. Need more drag. Let's give them some more flaps. Take it all the way to flaps 5, I think. Because we're still pretty high, 7,000 feet. Outside. A little bit early taking the flaps out, but we'll be alright. Okay, now it's telling us descent path is unachievable, so this probably means we need to start intervening. So I'm going to do a speed intervene. I'm going to say, okay, stay at 170 knots, down to 3,000 feet, and we'll set the vertical speed. We need to get down there pretty quickly. Remember, we want to be at 3,000 for our approach. So it should be coming in down here now. Not sure why we're not showing up, but we should do in a second. Set standard, or 1012 I should say. And at this point I think we'll go direct to Metna. Just tidy things up a bit. We're coming down nicely. So let's give control back. Computer. Still wants drag, so let's give it flaps 10. I don't know why it wants drag, because we're actually at 3,000 feet, which is where we're going to intercept the glide path for the ILS, but there we go. And then next I'm going to actually arm VOR. So essentially as soon as it is able to, it's going to intercept that 231 course and get us established on the ILS. So Dusseldorf, probably somewhere in the front right over there. And you can see here that it's in white, which means that it's armed, so it's waiting. It'll turn green once it intercepts. See how we're doing on our chart. Yeah, we can see ourselves coming in here a little bit aggressively, straight to Metna here. Remember, I did direct to Metna, but that's alright. We'll be fine. Below the clouds, which is nice. As expected, because the ATIS said the clouds would be about 4,000 feet, which they are. Another aircraft coming in here below us. Maybe that's not going to be a problem. Sometimes this happens, so I'm just going to tell them to clear the approach. Yeah, I'm a bit worried about these guys. They seem to be doing the same thing we're doing. Can you see them? Yeah. There they are. But we're ahead of them, so... Traffic alert. They're just going to have to move. Okay, so we're locked onto the VOR. We can activate approach mode now. And we can see the runway straight ahead of us. confirm that we're taking the left one. Yep.
2500.
We can put the gear down now. And give ourselves our last stage of flaps.
Descend. Descend.
Try and get rid of this guy. Okay, doesn't want to
Adjust
seem to
throttle
go away.
speed. Adjust.
It's funny, this guy seems to want to land at the same time as us and is not going anywhere. Anyway, let's roll back to our landing speed, which was 147. I'd like to add +5 to that, so 152. We're coming in very nicely.
Clear of front.
I'm now going to arm the second autopilot, because we're going to do an auto land. Let's check that is also set for 109.9, which it is. See land 3, so now the aircraft is essentially going to land itself. Coming down the ILS,
1000.
you can see the PAPI lights there. 2 red, 2 white, that's what we want. And then when we hit the ground, we're going to engage reversers, speed brakes will come on. I need to arm the spoilers. Then I can see that the terminal's over the left, so we're going to want to take an exit off to the left, get out the charts at that point. So getting ready now.
Approaching minimums.
Coming down to minimums. Minimums is 200 radio. We couldn't, if we had fog, that would be the minimum. Couldn't see the runway, we'd have to go around. But we can see the runway, so we say continue.
100.
The aircraft should now
50. 30. 20.
land itself.
10.
And we're down. Let's get the reversers going. And slow ourselves down.
4,000 feet remaining.
That's good. Cancel the reversers. Let's keep going. Plug up the runway. Put the flaps up. Disengage the autopilot. This is where you need 2 people to handle all this stuff. These can go off, taxi light on, and we're just going to be in time to take this exit right here. Now, of course, normally we get switched over to ground now, and they would tell us exactly where to go, but we don't have any ATC, so we're going to have to do all this ourselves. So we're just going to stop here for a moment. take a look at our taxi chart. Here we go, this is useful. So there's the control. Apron west. I think we'll just move around until we find somewhere that looks good to park. So autopilots are off, that's off, flaps are up, auto breakers off. We can disarm the spoilers. Landing lights are off. We can turn the runway turn off lights off. Get those off, and we'll start the APU. Make this little exit here. And look around for a gate. Yeah, I see one over there. So some nice ones over there too. Let's take one of these over here on the right. This one here looks lovely. Up. Which one is this? This is V81. Keep going to these lines here. And then stop, power off. Apply the parking brake. Fortunately, it doesn't look like they know where we are. Yeah, and this is too small a gate, so unfortunately we'll just have to not have the deboarding handled like that, but we can still use the air stairs and things. So I want to shut down the engines now. So taxi light off. We'll switch the power over to the APU so we still have it. All these can come off. APU bleeds can come on. Put this to open. Packs can go off, give us a bit of peace and quiet. And then shutting down the engines is very easy, we just cut these. And the engines start to spool down. Meanwhile, let us set the wheel chocks, get some ground power connected, and for the doors, let's open the air stairs at the back, as we don't have a gate here, so the passengers can get off there. Let's see if we have the APU cart. We do. the stairs at the back. At the front actually might be. Yep, at the front, that's good, so passengers can get off. Let's switch over to ground power now. Turn off the APU. Turn off the yaw damper. Your pumps can come off, these can come off. The navs can go to off. And that is really it. A flight from London Heathrow to Dusseldorf, following pretty much most of the procedures. Would have been nice to have a co-pilot. It is possible to get voice controlled co-pilot to help a lot and do all the checklists and stuff, and I'll do another flight with one of those at some point. But that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. See you again soon.